Welcome to all honorable audiences in our fourth question answer session organized by TOFID. Under the title Gita Gyan Ganga Abhiyan, today with us, respected Acharya ji, will explain again our questions. Acharya ji, सर्वप्रथम प्रणाम. Acharya ji, in our last session, in your last answer, you gave very detailed analysis of religion in context of dharma. Now, we want to know what is dharma. Is dharma different from religion? If so, how? And what is the difference? What is the role of dharma in our life? How dharma is essential and beneficial? Kindly enlighten us.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Most welcome to all the listeners of this question answer session, and also I greet and welcome Shri Sujit ji. Sujit ji has put a very important inquiry about dharma and religion. From past many years, we have been using this word dharma as equivalent to religion. It has confused for a long time. Religions are many, but dharma is not many. Dharma is not one nor many. Your first part of question, Sujit ji, how dharma is different from religion. The reply is, dharma is symbolic of great space, whereas religion symbolizes the planet in the great space. The space is unlimited, unbound, whereas every planet is limited and bound by its boundaries. Secondly, the great space has everything is abstract in that great space. Planet is visible. That means the visible form is religion and dharma is abstract. This is how both are different. And what is the difference between them? What? First of all, every religion, as we have seen, every religion has a founder. Whereas Dharma has no founder. Dharma is not founded by anybody. First of all, a religion, every religion has a particular holy book for guidance and governance. Whereas Dharma has no particular holy book for guidance and governance. Thirdly, the religion imposes many strictures and rules on followers. You have to pray like this, you have to live like this, you have to dress like this. Many kinds of restrictions are there. Whereas Dharma does not impose anything, any stricture. There is no imposition. Whatever is there in Dharma, it is acceptance, not imposition. It is acceptance by human wisdom. Whereas the religion is imposition on mind. This is what is a religion, what is the difference. This is the main difference. There are many differences, but these two are the main difference. Now your question, third part of your question is, what is Dharma? As I have said, Dharma in its original form, it is abstract. Dharma is not created or made by any human being or any prophet or any sage. Whereas what is said, that Dharma is the basic cause for all transformation, manifestation. How this visible world is manifested? It is the Dharma which has manifested everything in visible form. What is Dharma? Dharma is the nature of Supreme Reality or Almighty God or Paramatman. That Almighty God did not create anything. Taking the help of His nature, He manifested everything, transformed everything. That means indirectly we can say that Almighty God Himself became visible in many forms. That is the theory of evolution of Dharma, which has been said. We say that Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, that Hindu word now how we are using it as a religion, whereas Hindu Dharma or Sanatana Dharma is not religion. Because it is not founded by any prophet or any sage seer. Therefore, and it has no particular holy book to get guided. There are many. This is second difference. So how this Dharma is defined, how this visible world got the visible form, it is the law Dharma means here the law functioning behind every manifestation. Whatever see the visible world, a divine law is functioning. That divine law is the cause of, you can say, creation, because we do not use word creation, because creation sounds as if to make something out of nothing, and it is not possible. Logically it is not possible that without anything you can make something. What we say in great space, everything was in abstract form, invisible form. It is not emptiness, it is fullness. That perfection or fullness is called Supreme Being. From that Supreme Being, everything has come. Therefore, the Sanatana Dharma, what it says, that the beginning of the world was in the age of enlightenment. That means we call it Sat Yuga, or the age of truth and justice. The first human being on earth was an enlightened person, enlightened soul. He was not living in caves, he was not uncivilized, naked. Slowly he learnt everything. This is the theory of West, of human progress. But now our Sanatana Dharma says that no, Almighty God Himself took different forms. Therefore you will see that in Sanatana Dharma we worship mountains, we worship rivers, we worship ocean, we worship trees, we worship animals and birds, because the main philosophy behind that is that whatever we see, it is a reflection of that Supreme. That means dharma, what we call it, there are three types of laws functioning. One is divine law, which is called dharma. How it beneficial, I will come to that point. One is a divine law, which is the basic cause of creation, you can call it in modern words, and which is the basic cause of all manifestation and transformations. That is, first of all, the definition of dharma. And then there are natural laws by which we get fruits, flowers, herbs, how they are coming up. It is a natural law is functioning behind that. A law makes a flower. A law is functioning that a fruit is coming up. In the seed, it is everything is hidden. But how it comes into form, a law is functioning behind that. It is not that God is doing something. God is no personality. God is Almighty, God is principle. The law, the knowledge absolute, the perfection, the totality, the completeness, that is Almighty. From there everything has emanated, everything has come out. Dharma is, then third law is mundane law, which is enacted by different governments in their constitution. That means one divine constitution is working from above, and one is natural constitution working. How this all calamities natural? Because we are exploiting the nature without any wisdom. Too much of exploitation of nature means nature has gone angry. nature has become furious. Therefore, we see landslides, we see tornadoes, storms, many kinds, all these diseases. This is all the anger of nature. And who has made it? It is our activities for commercial benefits. We are exploiting the nature too much. And that has created an environmental imbalance without giving any respect to the nature. Previously, when the people used to cut the trees, essentially, then they used to bow before the tree and say that kindly excuse me, pardon me, I am hurting you, because life is everywhere. We are hurting the nature. When somebody is hurt, then there will be reaction. Therefore, it is the break of dharma, we call it. We have broken the dharma. Dharma means we have broken the law. As I said, if I break the law, law will not be broken. We will get punished. We will collapse. There is a word saying by Maharaja Yudhishthira in Mahabharata epic. He says, Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha, dharma eva hato hanti. The meaning is, the law protects the protector. If I abide by the law, law will protect me. If I break the law, if I destruct the law, law is not destruct because law is abstract. Law is not visible. This is law, we cannot show it. It is abstract law. All the laws are abstract in its original form. All the law books are written. The laws are there. In its original form, they are abstract. It is for implementation, then they become visible. When the protector is rewarded, when I abide by the law, I am protected by the law. If I break the law, law is not broken, but I am punished. How the law is working, mundane law also, how it is working. If somebody breaks the law, he is caught, prosecuted, convicted, and then punished. Law is in its place. Law cannot be destroyed because all destructions are visible forms. Invisible you cannot destroy. Law is abstract, therefore it cannot be destroyed. Dharma cannot be destroyed. So what has come, the outcome has come, that dharma means it is the law eternal. How it is made up of? Because dharma, when we implement it, your last part of the question, how dharma is beneficial, useful to us. It is useful in such a way that we, when implement the dharma in our day-to-day life, then it becomes useful, beneficial, and it elevates us, uplifts us to divinity. This is the path going above to the God. If you want to reach the God, you have to trek the path of dharma. Only dharma is a marga. Without following that dharma, all the religions had come in its original form, to teach and preach dharma to their followers. But unfortunately, due to political ambitions and other ego problems, for making themselves as superior, they lost this aim of teaching and preaching dharma. So when we adopt dharma in life, first of all, when we adopt in life, in karma, in our actions, it becomes duty. What is dharma in action? Duty is dharma. That is we call swadharma. In Gita language, one is dharma, the great law, which is governing the whole of the universe, planets, sun, moon, stars, by whom they are governed. They are governed by the divine law. And what is the part of the divine law we have been assigned to protect? The divine law, which is unlimited, unbound, that unbound, unlimited, infinite, that divine law which is governing and guiding all the visible bodies seen in the space. Even the tiny stars also, planets also, earth also, humans also, all are indirectly, they are governed and guided by the divine law. And now, what is the part of the divine law which I and you and all of us have been assigned to protect? That is called swadharma. Swa means my dharma. My dharma means how I shall adopt dharma in my life. When I adopt that dharma in my life, it becomes a swadharma. That when we adopt it in our karma, it becomes duty. Duty is swadharma. Through duty, we will protect the law. If you are on your duty, duty means what? Duty is the spirit of doing. Whatever work we are assigned at a particular point of time, we have to execute it in the spirit of duty, duty consciousness, which we lack in our country. Duty consciousness. What the whole education is for, to teach the duty. Actions is not business, not commerce. It is duty we are doing it. I am a doctor, treating the patient is my duty. I am a teacher, teaching is my duty. If I honestly teach, I am protecting that part of dharma. And then in the family, how we protect the dharma? By propriety of conduct. Parents are there, they are to be respected. We should have reverence for them. We should serve them. We should see that they are not pained in any way. We should try to give him all comforts. Like that, we should love wife and children and all our relatives. That propriety of conduct. A guru master is there. We have to bow down before the master. This is the dharma we are following. That means dharma is to get guided by values. There are two opposite forces working in our mind. One is values are working, one is vices are working. So values are first. Primary value, basic value is dharma. Whole the education system is in our Indian tradition. It was dharma shiksha, we call it. Giving the training of dharma. Therefore, when in the student life, when the students used to go to guru or master, they wanted to know what is dharma, which our dear Sujit ji has put now. They used to ask the Guru, teach me dharma. And in the Gurukuls, they used to teach the dharma. Dharma means what? Acharya devo bhava, matra devo bhava, pitra devo bhava, atithi devo bhava. All these propriety of conduct, how we should behave, what should be our behavior, where should we be humble, how the relationships will be sweet, cordial, when the behavior is quite normal and it is guided by values. Dharma is the basic value. From dharma what has come out? Truth come out, satya. Then vishwasa, faith. Faith is the basic value. Then we have reverence, we have love divine. Then we have sacrifice, then compassion. All these values, they represent the dharma. That means how it is beneficial to us when we follow the values, get guided by values. We are protecting the dharma, we are on the right path, we are on the path of dharma, path of truth, path of justice, path of faith, path of love, path of sacrifice. This is how dharma is beneficial, because we have lost that orientation, that training of dharma shiksha, educating our children of dharma. Therefore, we see so much of indiscipline, very, very insulting behavior with parents, and not taking care of children in that loving manner, affectionate manner. All these disturbances in our society is why? It is because we are not understanding dharma. We are not following dharma. Therefore, all this is there. I thank Sujit ji for question. I have put it. If any audience have any more clarifications, they can put it in writing. In the next session, I will clarify it. Thank you very much. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank
Thank you to, I'm giving thank you from all of you audiences to Guruji, that he again today he gave us his precious time and explain our questions. I think there are certain questions always moving in our minds, but we don't get time, or we don't get a place where we should ask. But I think we are lucky in this time, because Guruji is with us and he is giving all the answers. And I think the best way, which I think it could be, I have no words for that, to thanking Guruji, but I'm hoping that all of us will understand these words which Guruji used for us. We should understand it, we should implement in our daily lives, and I think we should and we will get a great life indeed. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.